I have saved my new design as cylinder design. Now I'll expand the Create panel and select New Component. I want to make sure that I make this an external component. I will name it Stop Plate, and I'm going to add Spring 25 to mine. I check to make sure it's in the correct project and then click OK. This is OK also. I will start sketch from the Create panel, select the XZ plane, expand Create panel, and for rectangle, I'll choose the center rectangle. Click on the center of the sketch and drag, and then type 5. That will be for the horizontal distance, so I'll tab and type 5 again for the vertical distance. Now I can enter, and I have my outline for the stop plate. I'll go ahead and start the circle command. Click on one of the diagonals for my center of my circle, drag and type 0.375 for the circle diameter. I'll go to the Create panel once again, expand it, and choose Rectangular Pattern. Select the circle that I just created. The blue arrow shows my direction, and I can type in 4 for the distance, and then over in my heads-up box, I'll type 2 for the number of items. Click on the gray circle and type 4 for the distance. Change the number of items to 2 here also, and then click OK because I have my circles. I need to dimension them. I could use some constraints, but I'll just use one dimensional constraint, and I think that's going to constrain them without having to use a lot of geometric constraints. I'll type 2 and enter, and that did constrain all of them because they're black. I'll escape. I'll start Offset from the Modify panel and select the outer edge of my square, type 0.5 and enter. I will right-click to start Offset again. Select one of the circles. 0.5 is my offset distance. Here I will trim up. I need to get in close because I have a little bit of the circle in the corner, and I want to make sure and get that trimmed out so that it doesn't interfere with the rest of my geometry. And click there to trim that one, trim this one also. I'll go ahead and trim here and here one more time. Now my warning says that I have some dimensions missing, so I will come back in and dimension after I create my fillets. I want to use a fillet on this horizontal to the arc, and the same down here for the vertical and the arc. Type in 0.2 for my radius and enter. Zoom out a little bit. I'll need to use a dimensional constraint for the radius of this arc, which is 0.6875. And I think I need a parallel constraint. Let's try that for this vertical line here. I will give it a dimensional constraint and see if that's what it needs. Now I'm going to select the arcs in the upper left, mirror them to the right, trim up, and make sure everything's constrained. Then select the ones on the left and the arcs on the right and mirror them to the bottom, and then trim up. I'll need to use my Z-axis and my X-axis as my mirror lines. I'm going to go ahead and get started with that. You do have to hold down Shift to select more than one. Going to turn off the constraint glyphs by unchecking constraints on the panel on the right. Now I need to add a circle in the center. I will start circle command, select the center, drag, and this diameter is 0.5. Enter and finish sketch. Right-click, start press pull, select the outer profile, and notice my blue arrow right here is going in the positive Y direction, and I want this to go in the negative Y direction. So I'll type in minus 0.5. Now I have to turn the sketch back on. I'll do that in the browser by expanding sketches and clicking on the little eyeball. Right-click, repeat, press pull, select the inner profile, and type in minus 0.25, enter. Now turn off the sketch and close up my browser. Click on Finish Edit in Place. I've created a new design called Guide Plate. Notice at the top that I still have the cylinder design open. I can click there, edit the stop plate, expand sketch, right-click on sketch and edit sketch. Here I can select everything, right-click, choose copy. I could use Control-C. Now I'll finish this sketch and finish edit in place. Make the guide plate current. On the Create panel, I will start sketch. On the XZ plane, right-click, select Paste. Here I'll go ahead and click OK in the Move Copy box. I'm going to zoom in really close to the center. Start my coincident constraint. I know I don't say that right. Expand the origin and select the center of the sketch and then the center of the circle. I'll zoom back out and turn off the constraint glyphs to see that everything is constrained. Now I'll double click on the diameter of this center hole to make it 1.02. That will give a little bit of clearance for the piston shaft, and I'll choose Offset. Select the center hole and make this distance 0.25. Now I can finish this sketch. Right-click, select Press Pull. Select the outer profile, and this time I do want it to go in the positive Y direction, so I'll just type in 0.5. I'll enter that. Let me go ahead and close up the origin, expand sketch, check the little eyeball to turn on my sketch. Now I'll right-click, repeat, press pull, select the inner profile, including the larger circle area. I want it to go in the positive Y direction, so I'll just type in 0.25, enter, right-click, repeat, press pull, and now I just want the larger circle, and that is going to be positive 0.75 for my distance. And I need to check my operation. I do not want it to be a cut. I want it to join. And I'll click OK. Turn off the visibility of my sketch. And I'll turn this around so we can look at it.